these key principles that you're laying out there, if we can understand this stuff, like the desires, the urges are good. But one of the things I liked about your book is like, it's not about extinguishing them. You know, there's that you talked about this 80-20 problem and how we've got that backwards. But what I liked about your approach to it, it's not like, no, 100% or zero. It's like, no, it's okay to think about that stuff. It's okay to hope about that stuff, but we just got to put it into perspective. So, you know, sum up what that 80-20 problem is and how to flip it.
Yeah. I just think that, you know, and I will out myself first, you know, like if I could add up all the hours in high school and in early college that I just like wrestled with or obsessed over, you know, gosh, like who am I going to be with? What are they going to do for me? Like, who am I going to date? Who am I going to marry? And then like, how are they going to make me feel? Like, that's what I lay out is, and I put these on the board, you know, I will use these in my talk and everybody's just like, oh geez, you know, cause it's really hard, you know, how much time we cater to the way we look, the way we sound, how we look, you know, on social media. You know, I always love those filters that like, you know, I always remind people how many hours were spent filtering most celebrity Instagram posts, just like, so everybody knows there's a whole team behind that. Right. Yeah. So you just, you know, that kind of thing, my heart goes out because that was me too. And I seriously, I mean this with all of my heart. Like, I don't know how I would have handled social media as a junior high or high school student. I think it would have destroyed me. And what I mean by that is I think it just would have taken whatever insecurities I had and just blown them up so big that 80% would have went to 100. And I don't know how the Lord would have spoken to my heart in college. You know what I mean? I don't know if there would have been any room for him at all. And so for me, like what I tell the students and what I tell, you know, your listeners is, you know, who do I want to be? What am I living for? Who am I living for? You know, to really ask some of those bigger questions in life, you know, like, do I spend my time ever thinking about like, what do I want out of life? Like, who do I follow? What, you know, I think it's really important because a lot of times social media can be so loud and there's so much pressure. And I just speak straight to your viewers right now is just unbelievable amounts of pressure to like keep up, to make the team, to look the part. And I'm talking to your men and I'm talking to your women. Like the men don't talk about it as much, but they feel that same pressure to make it, whatever that means, like whatever it means, like to arrive, to achieve, to succeed, to dominate, to conquer, whatever that means to you. And it's all played out on social media. So like the stress, whether it's athletics, academics, social, you know, all these things, like there is so much stress. And Jason, you speak, you know, all over the world too, but like that is probably the number one thing that I get when I love after my talk standing in line for hours, just hugging people and talking to them and answering their questions. But more than anything, just what I see in their eyes after my talk is like hope. And I think what they feel from me is my like unbelievable desire to like hand you a third way, like another plan. Because I think that it's like, you mean I don't have to find my savior in the form of a high school boy or college girl, or, you know, like I don't have to find like I'm trying so hard to make this person my everything and it's exhausting me. And, you know, it's like, yeah, it's actually not the plan, you know, like, you really think I'm enough, even though I've done this and that? You really think that I could like have virtue and like have these things that you're talking, like I desperately want that, but I never thought it was possible. And I just think that what happens is a lot of times we get stuck in that 80% and it's like, all that matters is, you know, having a Kardashian life or having a, you know, like I have such a heart for the Biebs and Taylor and, you know, all my people, because like that is just such an exhausting game. And then when they get there, it's still not enough. And I point that out. Sometimes it's like, look at the people who have it all. Selena, like, you know, I love all these like people because like you can see it on their face. They get there and they go, is this it? Like, is this all there is? Like, okay, well now what? And I really speak to their heart right now. Like everybody that's out there, like, look, like that is one game to play, but there's another game to play, which is who is the king and Lord of my life? And what do I want my life to look like? And who do I want to surround myself with? Who do I want to run? You know, I always talk about don't run at each other, run with each other, like towards the Lord, you know, like towards heaven horizon, right? Like, where are you going? And, you know, I don't like to drop like real big bombs on people, but, you know, it's like no one's guaranteed tomorrow. And I think a lot of high schoolers and a lot of college students, a lot of young adults live that I'm invisible. I'm invincible. I got a whole life, you know, I call it the altar switch in my book. You know, it's like I'm just going to show up on my wedding day and flip a switch, and I'm going to instantly become this person that I've always wanted to be. And I just look at these men and women and I'm like, look, that there's no alter switch back there. Like, you are, everything that you're choosing right now, everything you're doing right now, everything you're filling your head with is forming you. Like, sit with that for a minute, because that 80-20, like filling your head with the 80%, that in the end doesn't really matter. I mean, like, it's, you know, it matters, but really asking those hard questions about, like, dang, what am I living for? Like, what makes me tick? And like, who do I surround myself with? And most of the time, a lot of people come back to me and be like, my friends are toxic. My friends hurt me. My friends have belittled me. My friends have used me. Like, the people I call friends hurt me. And I didn't realize it until now. And that's, you know, to be able to just love on anybody out there right now who's just feeling really alone, feeling really abandoned maybe by their friends, feeling very inadequate. The devil's been really messing with me with that word. Like, Sarah, you're inadequate. You hustle, you do all these things, you're trying all these things, but you're just inadequate. And, you know, it's not that these insecurities and these, you know, anxieties and these worries go away. Right, Jason? Like, I mean, fighting this battle in high school and college, you're going to fight it the rest of your life. And I think that what we find in Emotional Virtue and Chastity, you know, the Chastity Project, like all these things is, man, these temptations, these limitations, these anxieties, these pressures, they don't go away. You get married and all of a sudden it's like, who has the cutest house and Christmas card, and how clean is your house, and are your children clean, and do they match? And I mean, like, it's just like, it's exhausting. And so if you don't get this right in high school, college, young adult, like, I mean, I think people hear my, I will pour out, like, I am fighting for you, because the sooner you get this figured out, just the more peace and joy and freedom that you have. Like, chastity is just like the greatest gift of freedom, because all of a sudden it's like, whoa, everything that I thought I had to be, I don't have to be anymore. Like, we always joke, you and I are on the same page with bikinis, you know, but like the whole bikini thing, all the girls, like, when I talk about it, I'm like, dude, you don't have to wear a bikini. Wear a one piece. They're cute. Tennis skirt. I love it. That's what I wear. Like, it's great. And they're all like, but like, I have to tan my midriff, and like, I have to work my abs. I'm like, are you planning on sleeping with anyone like in the next like couple of weeks? And they're like, no. And I'm like, are you planning on like modeling, or are you worried about your mom seeing you in your sports bra? And they're like, no. Then like, who are we working these abs for then, my friend? Like, and they all look at me like, you're right. I don't need to do 1,000 crunches a day. And I don't have to tan my midriff. And I'm like, freedom. Like, there's freedom in modesty and chastity and virtue, because all of a sudden your focus is on the right things. And all of a sudden you're just all this joy, and the people that run with you are like cheering you on and supporting you. And so again, like, I want this for people. And I just like crave being able to be out there again, like loving on these, like, again, Steubenville's, you know, 51,000 students that get to hear the message of you're enough, you're loved. God loves you just the way you are, but too much to leave you there. We are going to crank you full of Jesus and virtue and holiness and confidence in the Lord. And then you're going to go out there and you're going to rock it. And that's what I want for your listeners, is just that freedom and peace and joy that the world cannot give.
Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that little clip, but if you want to see the whole episode where this came from, just click the link here. And in the meantime, we want to invite you to help us share this message, and there's a couple things you can do real quick. Number one, if you like or comment or share this video, YouTube will actually show it to more people. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. We release videos every single day, and you'll be notified as soon as those come out. If you want to help us also to spread this message, you can support us at patreon.com/Jason Evert. That helps us to create these videos and show them to the whole world. God bless.